Hey folks, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for another product review video. It's Rod with Powell Group. Today is Monday, November 30th. It's the last day of the month. And make sure before we jump into today's content, hit the like, subscribe, tick the bell to be notified on any future product reviews. So in today's video, we got a lot to cover. So we've got the HEXO XMG Mango Pineapple, which I can't wait to try. We've got the new CBD drinks from Canopy Growth, the Quatro. So we have the ginger and lime. We have the blueberry acai, and we have the cucumber and mint, and we have the passion fruit. And some are 20 milligrams. Two are the cucumber and mint and passion fruit and guava. Those are both 20 milligrams of CBD. And the blueberry acai and the ginger and lime, those are both 2 milligrams of THC, 2 milligrams of CBD, so a 1-to-1 ratio. So stick around and we'll jump right into some product reviews. All right, so first on the list, we're not going to save the best for last. That's not how we do things around here. So we're going to start with the XMG Mango Pineapple from HEXO. I can't wait to try this one. This has been on my list to try since day one, since we knew about the HEXO drinks. So cheers to HEXO and the Mango Pineapple. Let's see what it's all about. Pretty good. It's not exactly what I expected, to be honest with you. I think I like the tropical fruit better just at first taste, but this is the 10 milligram of THC option that they have. But essentially, I'll put a picture up here for you folks to see the ingredients, but as we're aware with HEXO, everything's made with cane sugar and relatively low calories. So even in this can, there's only 15 grams of sugar, and it's cane sugar, and only 60 calories per can. It's nice to see that they're always about the health conscious drinks, and I'd give this one a solid 8 out of 10. Actually, it's kind of growing on me. I really like it. They did a fantastic job. Mango pineapple and tropical fruit. Tropical fruit's kind of like a fruit punch. This one kind of reminds me of like an orange taste, but I really like it. I'd give the tropical fruit about a 9 out of 10. I'd give this one about an 8 out of 10, but both are really, really good. I know a lot of people, a lot of the stores here in Alberta are saying they're running out as soon as they stock them. So everybody's saying that they taste amazing, and they have 10 milligrams of THC, which there's not a whole lot of options out there. I did a review on the Summit iced tea drink. It wasn't the greatest. That's a 10 milligram option. There's the Deep Space with Canopy, which is the 10 milligram. But in my opinion, and the overall sentiment in the market and retail is they love the XMG drink. So that's it for the XMG. So we'll move on to the Quatro drinks. All right, so next up we have the ginger and lime Quatro, THC plus CBD. So it's the 2 milligrams of THC, 2 milligrams of CBD, balanced ratio. Ginger and lime, I expect it to just be like a sparkling water. Yeah, that's just fair. Yeah, for someone like Canopy, you think their drinks would be a lot better, but it essentially just tastes like water. I don't know if you tried the houseplant, grapefruit, and lemon. They don't taste like anything really. This one, there's only 5 calories in it, no sugar. I'll put a picture of it here for you guys as well, but it essentially just tastes like carbonated water. I don't even really taste the ginger. Kind of taste the lime, but not very impressed. I'll give this one about a 5 out of 10. It's not the greatest. It's, like I said, it's essentially just carbonated water. So hopefully we can expect more from the others, but again, just not overall impressed with Canopy's drinks. I only really like the Deep Space. The Baker Street and ginger's okay, but they're chock full of bad sugars and that type of thing. They're not my favorite. But that's it for the ginger and lime. So we'll move on to the next one. All right, so next up is the blueberry. This is, again, the THC and CBD And another thing about Canopy's drinks is they make it damn near impossible to get into these things. I know with the HEXO, it's a similar one. So here's the one from HEXO's XMGs. It's a white cover, but they're always so easy to get off, and I near tear my finger off every time trying to get Canopy's off, and then the black ones. But no idea why it's so difficult for them to make one that easily pops off. I guess they really don't want kids getting at it, but anyways, I digress. So next on the list, Blueberry Acai. Again, it's 2 milligrams of THC, 2 milligrams of CBD. And let's see if this one tastes a little bit more like blueberry. And yes, it does. Essentially the same thing, 5 calories, barely, so no sugar, essentially carbonated water. Definitely can taste the blueberry. I give that one about a 6 out of 10. Definitely better than the ginger and lime. I really couldn't taste anything from that one, but can definitely taste the blueberry. Again, not overly impressed. All right, so next up, we have the cucumber and mint CBD drink. So this is 20 milligrams of CBD. And again, the struggle is real with these damn child safeties. I'm gonna have one sore finger by the time of this video is done. So cucumber and mint, let's give it a whirl. Smells funky. Oh, that one's not my cup of tea. You can definitely taste the cucumber and mint though. It's okay. I probably wouldn't buy a lot of them, but 20 milligrams of CBD, I think that's the highest amount of CBD in any drink I've seen so far. I know the HEXO very well has 15 milligrams. Yeah, I'd give that one probably a 5 out of 10 as well. It's not, they're definitely not my favorite. I wasn't expecting much, but definitely, I'd say the blueberry is the best so far, and the ginger and lime being the least favorite, and cucumber and mint being my second favorite. All right, so passion fruit and guava. Again, this is a CBD drink, and thank God this is the last child safety. Oh man, I don't know if you can see my finger there, but it is sore. So let's take a look. So last but not least, passion fruit and guava, 20 milligrams of CBD. What say you? Oh, that one's really good. Yep, I'd give that one about a 7 out of 10. That one's by far my favorite. So it goes passion fruit, blueberry, then the cucumber and mint, and the ginger and lime. So I hope you guys found this information valuable. Hopefully you're able to use that in the decision-making process when you go to purchase some of your cannabis drinks. I'd highly encourage that you try them all out and see. Obviously, my opinion might not be the same as yours, but again, I'm not super impressed with Canopy's drinks. I got a lot of carbonation going on here, but HEXO's drinks, in my opinion, are far better, hundreds of times better than the Canopy drinks. Every drink that I've tried pretty much from HEXO has been fantastic. Their branding is superb and they have something for everyone. But with that, thanks so much again for joining us on a product review. And I'm actually going to switch over to the laptop real quick as well. I do want to pull up a couple of news articles and some charts for HEXO, as we saw some huge momentum today and a huge move after hours. So let's jump over to the computer real quick and we'll take a look. All right, so shifting gears a little bit here, we're going to jump over to some charts and some articles that I want to share with you guys that I found relevant as well today. So HEXO, huge move. We had this hourly uptrend line to be watching. I did a video on this earlier today. You can go check out my video on my channel. It was the last one that I posted before the daily market recap video. So essentially I said we had that hourly uptrend line to be watching out for. And if we use the real candle bodies into aftermarket here, you can see we're up big. We're up to, I think, $1.27 at one point. That is the high. Yep, that's 127 after hours. So congrats again to the bulls. We saw huge volume today. And I mentioned this in my HEXO video earlier today, but this, I believe, is record daily volume. We have volume at 110 million, including after hours. And we saw huge, and Sundial up huge today, no pun intended. And Sundial had over 2 billion shares traded today. So that is absolutely monstrous volume. And if you take a look at like Trulieve, for example, they only had about 350K shares. So they only had, 13 or $15 million traded. And if you take a look at Huge, for example, they had 2 billion shares traded. So we'll say an average of, what did we close at? Sundial, not Huge. So Sundial closed at 72. So we'll say an average of 60 cents. You're looking at $1.2 billion traded on Sundial today, and Trulieve only about 13 million. So this is again why I've been saying that these companies that are listed on the NASDAQ or the NYSE or major exchanges are going to see a huge, huge benefit. And that's exactly what we saw today. Sundial up 96%, Huge up over 30%, HEXO up almost 30%. If we include after hours, you're looking at over 40%, so about 45% on the day on HEXO. So once again, congrats to the bulls. You were rewarded heavily. If you bought the dips, this earnings reaction was shaking a lot of people out. You can bet that there was a lot of institutions and big money loading up on that. And you can see we just absolutely rocketed into a daily higher low and higher high. So that confirmed a daily uptrend and just absolutely blasted off there about 100% from the negative earnings reaction. But it couldn't have been too negative. We saw huge volume. People are just foaming at the mouth to buy this thing. And they've been waiting. I know a lot of people that are still on the sidelines. They said they were going to wait until it dropped. I said, probably not a good idea. I'd buy it now. And if you didn't get it at 58 cents there on that earnings reaction, then you might never have a chance to get it this low again. But this isn't a buy or sell recommendation or to create FOMO. This is just telling it how it is. So again, at the end of the day, we haven't set an hourly high or low in a very long time, since the beginning of the day at 88 cents. The most important hourly support is going to be 88 cents. But bulls have a ton of space to form an hourly high or low and look to continuation. I would expect an hourly high or low tomorrow, at some point by tomorrow, before we start to break over this 109. So obviously we're over 109 resistance. So that cup and handle on the daily looks like it's going to be negated because we just broke to a new high. And then we have $1.29 after that. By the way, if we break $1.29, then that confirms that we're in a monthly uptrend for the first time since the all-time high. That is very, very notable. And only the second time ever in the company's history will it be in an uptrend on the monthly. CGC already in a monthly uptrend. We closed the day a little red today. So tier 1 being Canopy, Aurora, CGC, APHA. Obviously the lower cap name seeing a majority of the move today, but CGC in a monthly uptrend. If we take a look at the daily, we haven't consolidated on the daily since 2342. So if we do start to consolidate, we'll just expect a higher low compared to that level. And let's see what we have for resistance. We don't really have any resistance up until the 34.34 level. But again, not expecting bulls to just clear through all these resistance at first go. We'll want to form a daily high or low, in my opinion, and then potentially a daily bull flag or a test of EMA 12 support, confirm support, and then look for continuation. In a 5-minute downtrend into the end of the day, and we saw a little bit of uptick in sell volume there into the end of the day as well. So HEXO has earnings coming up on the 16th of December. So 2 weeks from Wednesday, I expect very, very good things from HEXO. You can see on the weekly chart, we are above the 10-week moving average. The MACD stochastic are blasting off extremely bullish. Taking a look at the daily, we are now well above the 100, 200, and the 50-day moving average. We have a golden cross forming here. We've already crossed bullish on the 50 and the 100-day, and we're 1 penny away from crossing into a golden cross. And daily MACD also just skyrocketing. If we take a look at the weekly chart, we can see that we back tested 86.50 weekly moving average. We got as low as 88 cents. We essentially filled the gap from yesterday. As you can see, there was a gap in the chart, and we essentially came down, tested that. We didn't completely get there. We had a high of the previous day, trading day was at, let's see here, hit a high of 87.4, and today we had a low of 88. So I would consider that a gap fill and a gap and go. And like I said, on the weekly, you can see we're above that 50 weekly moving average, and we don't even have a defined 200-day moving average, but the 100-day is all the way up at $2.83. So I could easily see this blasting off. If we get over 129 resistance, we don't have any real resistance until $2 psychological. So very, very interested to see how this ends the month and begins the year. They're expected to be profitable in the first half of 2021. And again, looking here after hours, we're sitting at $1.21 and looking like we may not need a reverse split at this point. So again, congrats to the bulls. So we did see an article here from Stocks Telegraph, HEXO Corp, a potential long-term investment opportunity. HEXO is trading around the $1 mark. Blah, blah, blah. HEXO surged over 18% in November following the legalization of marijuana in 4 new states. The stock has soared up to 20% as it trades in its day range of 88 cents and 101. The use of cannabis for different health purposes increased the demand for the product in the medical sector, especially the serious mental health issues reported during obviously the global situation that we have at hand, and it played a pivotal part in the growth of cannabis demand. Around 91% of cannabis usage was increased for mental health purposes during this time. The impact of the increasing demand can be seen in the cannabis stocks growth and their quarterly results. HEXO's fourth quarter revenue spiked 76% compared to the prior year. Considering the future of cannabis, increasing demand, investors have a great opportunity to buy HEXO for under $1 per share, and that's on the US side. Stock seems an appealing long-term investment with a solid gross margin, Belleville facility potential, and improving internal process efficiency. Strong fourth quarter results. Looking at the profitability, it was a drastic experience for the company, widening its net loss of 276% year over year. But investing in a stock for longer term, we need to look at broader aspects. Their loss in Q4 was due to a massive impairment loss. This loss has a hefty impact on profits, as we talked about on this channel before. If we set that aside, the loss actually wasn't that bad. So again, the loss would be much lower. On the contrary, HEXO reported an increase of 76% of consolidated revenues compared to 27.1 million the same quarter last year. Revenues showed strong growth despite the impact and lockdowns on the economy. Another key aspect, their net revenue per gram surged to 295 to 222. And in addition, the adjusted EBITDA of 3.25 million should break even by the first half of 2021. Gross margin were impressive at 42%, excluding revenues from adult use beverages. So excluding revenues from these, which this is what they're at the forefront. This is what they're pioneering. They're first to market, and they're absolutely crushing every bit of it. So HEXO working capital, 223 million, including 184 million in cash, should get them by for at least the next few quarters. Whereas its improved net cash and cash equivalents improved by 95% from the prior quarter. The company's top line results growth in Q4 2020 reflects the advancements of HEXO's 2.0 products and its ongoing performance. The high quality products keep on attracting more customers for the company. So Truss Project in 2018, they collaborated with MOLSONCOORS, created Truss, and HEXO saw its adult use beverages for the first time in Q4 2020. Truss will contain 5 brands under the Truss product line. So conclusion, just want to see if there's anything. Company claimed the Truss surpassed the sales among all its competitors in Canada. So first in the list of sales for adult use cannabis infused beverages. That's huge in only a few weeks. A massive potential for the cannabis beverage market is shaping up. We also learned that Ontario is due to potentially open up weed drinks at bars and restaurants and venues and events. That type of thing could be huge. Truss has an upper hand in allowing HEXO to make the first move in the first mover's advantage. And moreover, HEXO's partner MOLSONCOORS provides a platform to reach the masses in Canada. And if you're not getting excited as I'm reading this, you must not have emotions. I personally love the products, their beverages. I just ordered a huge several $100 order today from Alberta Cannabis, and can't wait to try all of the new products that HEXO has out. I pretty much tried all of them, but I can't wait to get the hash again. A couple new strains of their bud. can check out my video earlier today for some details on that. And I got a couple of vapes like the Granddaddy Purple that I haven't tried yet. So expect some more product reviews in the future from those as well. So conclusion, every company has its risks, and that is the same for HEXO. For a long-term investor, it will provide you with an opportunity to make profits. And HEXO is making growth with Truss and a potential market. It could bring massive revenue. Moreover, the company is expected to break even in the first half of 2021. The future seems prominent for the cannabis stock. We also saw that New Cannabis Ventures came out with an article, large LPs nearly doubled to lead Canadian cannabis producer stocks 24% higher in November. So I've been saying this for a while. I would expect cannabis LPs, we've seen them as a laggard to the US sector and the overall broader market like the S&P 500. So not only are they playing catch up on a recovery and an economic recovery and on the cure that was released that should be administered and rolled out in the first part of 2021. Obviously they're playing catch up, but obviously a lot of institutional, a lot of retail people are getting interested, and a lot of big money is starting to get back into the space, and they have to do that. I, for one, I trade in registered accounts, so I can't buy OTC names. I can, but I choose not to. And it's just, until those floodgates open, we won't see these huge 100% days, in my opinion, on company, unless it's really news driven. But HEXO today didn't really have that much news, and it's up 40%, almost 50% on the day. Again, that's because it has high liquidity. It's access to major capital and major exchanges. So, continue to lag the broader sector. It posted strong gains in November, has increased 23.6% to 288.97. The index, which closed at a 4-month high, is now down 28.6% over the last year. It remains substantially below the all-time high of 13.14 in September 2018, just ahead of legalization in Canada. In March, it posted a new 50-week closing low of 196.10, a level not seen since late 2016. So again, when everybody's bearish the sector, when everybody says short Canadian LPs or short every cannabis stock on every rip, then to start looking the other way. And I know a lot of channels stopped covering the space, and that's when I started getting interested again. So I've been accumulating now for about 6 months in Canadian LPs. I've already had my profits. I've switched from US MSOs. I had a lot of gains in Trulieve. I had a lot of gains in Cresco, Curaleaf, GTII, so Green Thumb. But I've now rotated those out into the beaten up Canadian LP sector, which has a lot of room to grow in terms of laggards, but also in terms of high liquidity and access to major exchanges. The index has declined 26.6 from its close of 393 at the end of 2019. So, see, you can check this out on your own accord, but tier 1, I just want to highlight a couple more things, which are LPs that are generating cannabis-related sales of at least 20 million per quarter, rose 97.8% to 606.93. In 2019, it declined 38.5%. So again, you can check those numbers out on your own. So this group included Aphria, Aurora, Canopy Growth, and HEXO. So tier 1 is Canopy, Aurora, and HEXO, and Aphria. Among these largest LPs by revenue, Aurora Cannabis, the weakest stock thus far in 2020, was the best performer, soaring 184%. But if you factor out the fluff, it's still down exponentially. So HEXO, we'll use Canopy for example. Canopy's only 200% away from less than 200% away from its all-time high, and Aurora is much farther than that. So up here at 56, so we're about 100% away now after these gains the last few days and weeks. We're about 100% away. And if we take a look at ACB after that ridiculous 12-to-1 split, you can see here that we're still about 10x away. So clearly an underperformer, but obviously performing better in the short term because it was beaten up so bad. So while HEXO Corp gained 77%, Aphria rose 82%, and Canopy Growth increased 49%. Tier 2, which included LPs that generate cannabis-related quarterly sales between 5 million and 20 million. So again, you can check this out. We had Oxley come out with earnings today too. So just taking a quick look, we had Organigram fiscal Q4 revenue increases 13%,
sequentially to 20 million. I'll just bring up this article. Not that interested in Organigram, to be honest with you. And Auxly Q3 revenue increases 57% sequentially to 13.4 million. So you can check that out on your own time. I'm going to end it there, though. I'm not going to jump into the technicals. This is my third video, I think, for the day, and I'm getting tired, to say the least. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys at the moment. But nice to see. I know a lot of people didn't really consider HEXO as a tier 2 player in the cannabis space in Canada. And obviously that just showed that it very much is. And that's obviously just one company's opinion. But in my opinion, I think it's one of the best LPs right next to Canopy Growth. In my opinion, I like it the best, obviously in terms of you know, just cash and market dominance. It's Canopy, and it might always be Canopy for the foreseeable future. But in my opinion, I love HEXO. I love their products. Don't love their financials just yet. But just like Tesla, not too long ago, they didn't make any money, and they surprised everybody in the latter part of 2019 and beginning of 2020. And the stock has never looked back since. So, all right, folks, that's going to do it for today's product review and analysis on HEXO and Canopy. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe, tick the bell to be notified on any future product reviews and analysis. Again, it's Rod with Pal Group. Thanks so much for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you tomorrow for another daily market recap.